Alex Johnson, a highly qualified black candidate, faces repeated rejections from a top tech firm, only to uncover a shocking truth about the company's hiring practices. Alex Johnson had always been a driven and ambitious person. From a young age, he excelled academically and professionally. His journey began with a bachelor's degree in computer science, followed by an MBA from a prestigious university. He had a track record of managing large-scale technology projects, which brought significant success and innovation to the companies he worked for. His resume was filled with impressive accomplishments, and he had a reputation for being a dedicated, results-driven professional. In the summer of 2023, Alex decided it was time to explore new opportunities. He was looking for a senior management position at a leading technology firm that would challenge him and provide room for further growth. After weeks of research, he found the perfect match: a senior management role at Elite Tech Solutions, a company renowned for its cutting-edge technology and innovative projects. Excited about the opportunity, Alex meticulously prepared his application. He tailored his resume and cover letter to highlight his extensive experience, successful projects, and leadership skills. He hit the submit button and waited eagerly for a response. Days turned into weeks, and Alex grew increasingly anxious. Despite his impressive qualifications, he heard nothing from Elite Tech Solutions. This silence was disheartening. He knew that sometimes racial bias could affect job prospects, but he tried to stay hopeful. He continued to apply to other positions, but the waiting and uncertainty were taking a toll on him. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Alex received an email from Elite Tech Solutions inviting him for an initial interview. The email was enthusiastic, praising his qualifications and expressing excitement about his potential fit for the role. Alex felt a surge of relief and excitement. He carefully prepared for the interview, researching the company's recent projects and practicing his responses to typical interview questions. On the day of the interview, Alex arrived at Elite Tech Solutions headquarters, an impressive building with sleek, modern architecture. The lobby was busy, filled with professionals in smart attire, and Alex checked in with the receptionist. After a brief wait, he was led to a comfortable reception area. The waiting room was filled with other candidates, most of whom were white. Alex tried to push aside any feelings of discomfort and focused on staying positive. He struck up conversations with some of the other candidates, learning about their backgrounds and experiences. When Alex's name was called, he followed a staff member to a conference room where Sarah Mitchell, the hiring manager, was waiting. Sarah was a middle-aged woman with an authoritative presence. She greeted Alex with a polite but formal smile. The interview began, and Alex confidently shared his achievements and detailed how his experience aligned perfectly with the job requirements. He emphasized his project management skills, leadership, and the successful outcomes of his previous roles. However, as the interview progressed, Alex couldn't shake off the feeling that something was off. Sarah seemed distracted, frequently checking her watch and cutting him off during his responses. Her questions were more probing and challenging compared to what Alex had anticipated. Despite his best efforts, he felt that his responses weren't being received as positively as he had hoped. The interview concluded sooner than Alex had expected. He left the room feeling a mixture of hope and concern. The encounter with Sarah had left him uneasy, and he wondered if his race had played a role in the interview's tone and outcome. Weeks passed with no feedback from Elite Tech Solutions. Alex continued his job search, facing repeated rejections from other companies. The waiting and uncertainty were exhausting. He began to question if there was something inherently flawed in his approach or if racial bias was influencing his job prospects. Just when Alex was beginning to lose hope, he received another email from Elite Tech Solutions, inviting him for a second-round interview. The email mentioned that the company was impressed with his initial interview and wanted to discuss his application further. Although relieved, Alex felt a knot of anxiety in his stomach. The second-round interview would be more rigorous, and he worried that the bias he sensed during the first interview might persist. Determined to make a strong impression, Alex spent additional time preparing. He reviewed his previous responses, researched more about Elite Tech Solutions' recent projects, and sought feedback from mentors and colleagues. He was determined to leave no stone unturned and showcase his abilities to the fullest. On the day of the second interview, Alex arrived at Elite Tech Solutions headquarters once more. The reception area was as busy as before, but this time there was a palpable sense of tension. He was escorted to a larger conference room where he was introduced to 3 senior executives, including Sarah Mitchell. All of them were white. The panel's presence felt intimidating. The second-round interview was intense. The panel asked detailed and challenging questions about Alex's previous projects, his leadership style, and his vision for the role. The questions were designed to probe his skills and experience thoroughly. Alex answered with clarity and confidence, but he could sense that the panel's demeanor was critical and less supportive compared to what he had experienced in previous interviews. Despite his best efforts, the panel's reactions were not encouraging. The executives seemed to focus on minor issues, while ignoring the strengths Alex had brought to the table. After the interview, Alex left feeling disheartened. The pattern of bias seemed clear, and he began to question whether his race was impacting the hiring process. The weeks following the second interview were agonizing. Alex continued to face rejections and felt disheartened. His confidence took a hit as he grappled with the possibility that racial bias was influencing the outcome of his job search. Each rejection felt like a blow to his self-esteem, and he questioned whether he would ever find a job that recognized his talents. Eventually, Alex received a brief email from Elite Tech Solutions informing him that they had selected another candidate for the position. The email offered no specific feedback or reasons for the decision. The brevity of the message left Alex feeling dismissed and undervalued. He was devastated, but determined not to let the experience define him. Refusing to accept the status quo, Alex decided to take action. He documented his experiences, including his interactions with Sarah and the panel, and the subtle signs of bias he had noticed. He reached out to friends, family, and colleagues, sharing his story and seeking their support. The feedback he received confirmed his suspicions and encouraged him to speak out. Inspired by the support and validation he received, Alex started a blog to discuss racial bias in hiring. He detailed his experiences at Elite Tech Solutions and shared insights on how racial bias could affect job opportunities. The blog quickly gained traction as others began to share their own stories of facing discrimination. Alex's blog became a platform for discussing broader issues of racial bias and workplace inequality. The growing audience of Alex's blog provided a sense of solidarity and support. It sparked conversations about the challenges faced by professionals of color and highlighted the need for systemic change. Alex's advocacy work began to have a tangible impact, raising awareness and prompting discussions on fairness and inclusivity in the workplace. As his blog gained visibility, media outlets took notice. Alex was invited to participate in interviews and write articles about his experiences. His advocacy work helped shine a light issue of racial bias in hiring and prompted a broader conversation about fairness and inclusivity in the workplace. In response to increased public awareness and pressure, Elite Tech Solutions announced new diversity and inclusion initiatives. The company committed to addressing biases in their hiring processes, implementing more diverse hiring panels, and providing training for employees involved in recruitment. These changes were a direct result of the awareness and advocacy efforts led by Alex and others. Alex's blog and advocacy continued to resonate with a wide audience. He received feedback from professionals who had benefited from the changes at Elite Tech Solutions and from those who found inspiration in his story. The support reinforced his commitment to addressing racial bias and promoting workplace equality. An investigation into Elite Tech Solutions hiring practices was launched, driven by Alex's advocacy and other complaints. The inquiry aimed to uncover discriminatory practices and ensure that the company took meaningful steps toward reform. The investigation highlighted the need for systemic change and sparked a broader discussion about fairness in hiring. As a result of the investigation and public pressure, Elite Tech Solutions implemented new policies to reduce bias in their hiring processes. These policies included more diverse hiring panels, revised procedures for evaluating candidates, and ongoing training for recruitment staff. The changes marked significant progress and were a direct outcome of Alex's efforts and advocacy. Alex's commitment to addressing racial bias extended beyond his personal experiences. He began working with local organizations to provide mentorship and support for other professionals of color. He helped them navigate the job market and advocated for fair treatment in hiring processes. His efforts contributed to creating a supportive network for individuals facing similar challenges. Reflecting on his journey, Alex recognized the personal growth he had experienced. He had gained confidence, resilience, and a deeper understanding of the systemic nature of racial bias. His experiences had shaped his approach to advocacy and reinforced his dedication to promoting fairness and equality. Alex reconnected with former colleagues and friends, sharing his journey and celebrating the positive changes he had witnessed. The support from his loved ones continued to inspire him and fueled his passion for advocacy and change. As he faced new challenges in his role at a new company, Alex applied the lessons he had learned from his previous experiences. He approached obstacles with confidence and resilience, contributing to a workplace culture that valued diversity and inclusion. Alex remained committed to his advocacy work, focusing on broader issues of racial discrimination and workplace equality. He continued to use his platform to raise awareness and drive positive change. His dedication to creating a fairer world guided his efforts and inspired those around him. The new company where Alex worked became a model for diversity and inclusion. His contributions helped foster a workplace environment that valued and supported employees from diverse backgrounds. The company's success in creating an inclusive culture served as an example for others in the industry. Alex received awards and recognition for his work in promoting diversity and combating racial bias. The accolades validated his efforts and motivated him to continue advocating for change. The awards also provided a platform for sharing his message and inspiring others to join the fight for equality. Looking back on his journey, Alex felt a sense of accomplishment and pride. His experiences had shaped his approach to advocacy and reinforced his commitment to creating a more just and equitable world. As he continued to inspire others and drive positive change, Alex remained dedicated to building a future where everyone had an equal opportunity to succeed. Through his journey, Alex learned that confronting and addressing bias was not just about changing individual experiences, but about fostering systemic change. His story was a testament to the power of persistence, advocacy, and the collective effort required to address racial bias and create a more inclusive and fair world for everyone. Alex's story didn't just impact him personally, but became a catalyst for change in many lives, encouraging others to speak out against injustice. His continued work in promoting diversity and equality inspired a movement where voices were amplified and meaningful action was taken. Thank you for watching. If Alex's journey resonated with you, or if you've experienced something similar, let's keep the conversation going. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to stay updated with more stories that matter. Together, we can continue to raise awareness and inspire change.